I came here and I really instantaneously fell in love with the Nova coffee, because first of all, as somebody who works with the brain and helps people manage stress and, taught it for 10 years, I looked at this as a triple win situation. I can give people coffee and say, yeah, have your cup of coffee, get those EPAs, which are omega 6s, which are structural components of the fat of our brain and our neurotransmitters. So it's got this in it. And then it also has the adaptogens that help our body adapt with stress. And, some of these adaptogens we've heard about that, some of them maybe not so much about, I know ashwagandha right now is a very, very popular one, and there's several components of this plant that we can use. So I like the fact that we actually have a plant that uses the leaves and the root, so that it's a whole plant instead of just a partial root or something like that. So it makes it much more acceptable and utilized by people who are maybe sensitive to one but maybe not another part of it. And it balances itself out, because all plants should theoretically be used as a complete component of the plant as a whole food. But then there's also bacopa, and the bacopa has been shown to help improve memory and to be able to help calm down with anxiety. Now, again, most people say to me, hey, Cheryl, I would get the jitters with this coffee because I always get anxious with coffee. And I can tell you, this doesn't have the same kind of effect, because the adaptogens are actually quite calming. So the bacopa also has been linked to improvement in depressive disorders and, things that cause, and I can say this because I've taught it. So I'm just, to give a full disclosure, I don't want you to go out there and rush to your doctor and say, Cheryl told you this, but there's things about not getting sufficient vitamin D that causes imbalances in the brain. So, and when I say that, we're not uptaking enough of the anti-inflammatory response. So people in Canada, for instance, may develop something like SADS. This is just helps the body adapt to the stressors of not having the nutrients in them, and then helps our body naturally calm itself down. So, it's quite nice about that. The other thing that I like is that it has been known to neutralize blood acids. So again, when we're looking at inflammatory diseases, or we're looking at inflammation or high acidic environments, that's almost like a breeding ground for just having a little bit of disease take up. And I just want to throw out there too, is because I've been talking quite a bit about this, is I don't like to throw out diagnoses for things like that. So when we talk about things that help the body, I'm always about getting lower inflammation or lower ability to have a more alkaline environment within our blood, because those are components that cause inflammation. And we know all inflammation leads to symptoms, and the cluster of symptoms leads to a diagnosis, and the diagnosis is the disease that we like to hang on to. So I think that's all I got to say about this one in a very short time period. But if I could suggest anything, I recommend everyone starting their morning out this way, because it gives you a little bit of energy, but it just gives you the joy throughout the day.